Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make a granny square vest as requested in one of my comments. I hope this is what she meant or I hope this is what they meant. So it's pretty similar to the way I made the shorts and the skirts. However, this time I decided to do things slightly different. And obviously the pattern in terms of how it's laid out will also be different. For this tutorial, I use several colors. From the left, they're all 100% acrylic. These four are Charity, and this is a brand I've not used before. However, it's still also 100% acrylic. This is a chick double knit, and it has no color. However, it does have a number, and that's 025. So if you want to search that up, enjoy. However, my Charity brands do have names. This is Banana, Soft Lime, Brazilla Bash. In my previous Granny Square clothing tutorials, I used the Brazilla Bash. So I just decided to use the scrap yarn from that. And this is Gravel. That's the color. Okay. And I just noticed something. This is Gravel. And this is the chick. This is the chick brand. Sorry. I can tell you the difference between this. This is quite a rough wool compared to the Charity brands. So would I use this all the time? No, definitely not. But it is what it is. That's the wool I had on hand. So you can also do this as a scrap yarn. If you don't mind multicolors on your clothing, then you're all good. You can use your scrap yarn for this as well. As the video progresses, you're going to see that I did use other colors within the other colors themselves. So yeah, scrap yarn is best. You can use scrap yarn as well. It's a nice way to use your scrap yarn. Other materials I'll be using is the tapestry needle. I'll be using the smaller one because the larger ones give me headache. A 4mm hook, and you also want scissors to cut off your ends. Okay, I will be starting off with how to make the square, then how to make the triangle, and you'll see where the triangle comes in. That's around the collar area. And then I'll show you how the pattern looks like, and then I'll move on to joining the garment. Okay, let's start off with the square. To start, you're going to need to make a magic ring, and for the magic ring I'll be doing the chain method. Start off with a slip knot. Then you're going to do chain 4 chains. This is 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then you're going to go into the very first stitch, the very first chain that you did, and you're going to slip stitch. Now you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, into the middle of the ring. You're going to start doing double crochets, and we'll be doing a total of 12 double crochets. So this is currently my third one. I'm saying my third one because the chain 2 that we started with counts as a stitch. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, keep going until you get to a total of 12 stitches, and I'll meet you when I get back to the end. Okay, and I'm back, and I have a total of 11 stitches currently. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. I'm going to do one more, and I am also tucking my tail at the end there, so I'm weaving in my tail as I go. Okay, so that's the 12th one. Now you're going to go at the top, so not the chain 2 that you did, you're going to go at the top of that. So the next one after that is what you're going to go into. Slip stitch, chain 2, and in the same stitch right underneath that chain 2 is where you're going to do your 2 double crochets. So you're going to do 2 double crochets in that same space. Then you're going to skip 2, so 1 2, and you're going to go into this third one doing 3 double crochets first. Oops, 1 2 3 double crochets. And by the way, what we're doing now is called a corner. We started a corner here, so we're going into the next corner. So this is the third one. Now we're going to chain 2 and into the same hole. So all of this is into the same hole. Do another 3 double crochet. So in this one hole, you have a total of 3 double crochets and 2 chains in between. So it's 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and that's the repeat. So we're going to skip 2 into the third, same thing. 1 2 3. Okay, I just did my third one and a chain, so I need one more chain, and 3 again. So it's 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. We're going to do our last one now. Skip 2, 1 2, into the third, okay, second one, third one, chain 2, and again 1 2 3. Okay, and that's the last corner to be done technically. Okay, so now we're going to go back into this one to finish, we're going to go back into this one to finish our last corner. So that very space that we went into for the first chain, 2 double crochets that we did, we're going to go back in there and insert, doing 3 double crochets. And since the chain 2, like I said, counts as a stitch, as you can see now we have our 3 and 3. Now we need the chain 2 in between. So you're going to chain 2 and into the second chain we're going to slip stitch. So the second chain from the beginning, chain 2 that we did, is where you're going to slip stitch into, and that's row 1. For row 3, you're going to need to chain 2 and into the hole, the chain 2 space that we did, we're going to do 2 double crochets. Okay, making it a total of 3 in that space currently. Now into the next gap in your work, you're going to go in there and do 3 double crochets. This is the 3rd row. We have 1 more row to do, so it'll be a total of 4 rows for the square. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, next we're going to do a corner, and to do a corner, it's 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. Okay. And this is the repeat. So into the gap, you're going to do 3 double crochets. At the corner, you're going to do a corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So keep going doing that all the way around, and I'll meet you to complete this corner. Okay, so here's what the square is looking like so far. Now I'm just going to complete this corner with you, doing 3 double crochets, chain 2, and into the top, that second chain that we did from the start, we're going to go in there and slip stitch. Okay, that is row 3 done. For row 4 and the final row, we are going to chain 2, same thing like we did in the previous row, 2 double crochets into the previous chain 2 space, having 3 stitches in that space. Into the gap, we're going to do 3 double crochets, 2, 3, okay. Into the next gap, we're going to do 3 double crochets as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're going to do a corner. So every time you see a corner, you do a corner. And for the corner, it's 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. Okay, so this is the repeat you're going to do all the way around as you go. Okay, so into this next gap here, 3 double crochets, into the next gap, 3 double crochets, and into the corner, a corner, which is 3 double crochet, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets. I'm going to continue working my way around, and I'll meet you when I get back to this corner again. Okay, now I'm here in my last corner, and I am just going to add 3 double crochets into this. Okay, chain 2, and I'm going to complete by doing slip stitch into the top chain from my previous chain 2. Okay, and that completes the square for the vest. To start the triangle, you're going to need to do a magic ring, and for this magic ring I'll be doing the chain method. So you're going to start off with a slip knot, okay, then you're going to chain 4, 3, 4, the same way we started the square, okay. Then we're going to slip stitch into the very first chain that we did. Now we're going to chain a total of 4 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go back into the middle of the ring and do 3 double crochets. The chain 4 that we did counts as a chain and a double crochet. That's 2 and the third one. Now we're going to chain 1 and go back in again and do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to chain 1 and 1 double crochet. Okay, that's row 1 completed. For row 2, we're going to chain 4 into this gap that we created. Remember I said when we started, into this gap, it counts underneath in that chain 1 space. We're going to do a total of 3 double crochets. Okay, into the next gap, which is that chain 1 space that we created. We're going to do a total of 3. Well, technically it's a total of 6, but for now 3. Okay, chain 1 and another 3 into the same gap. So it's a total of 6 with a chain 1 in between. Into that very first, so back into the space here, we're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 3. Okay, now we're going to chain 1 again, and 1 more double crochet. As you can see, there's a pattern going on. Okay, so from row 2 to 4, it's basically the same thing. Okay, so you're going to chain 4 now, into this gap, 3 double crochets, into this gap, 3 double crochets, into this peak here, you're going to do a corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets. Then you're going to go into this gap here, 3 double crochets, and into this gap, 3 double crochets. And this is what you're going to do until row 4. And I'll meet you once I have completed my total of 4 rows. Once you're done with your 4th row, this is what the triangle should look like. It's a total of 4 rows because the square has a total of 4 rows. If you were to put 2 of these together, it should complete a normal square. How I know I got the right size is because I can count how many stitches is at the top. So you should have a total of 15 stitches. On my square at the top, I have from corner to corner, I have a total of 15 stitches. So I'm going to count from corner here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and plus this one, 15. Okay, so I know that's correct. And now I'll show you how to join the vest and also how it would look like. So I'll be showing you how to arrange the squares and joining it. Okay, so this is currently what the back of the vest would look like. This is a total of 24 squares right now. As you can see, it's a mixed match of squares, and this way it measures about 16 inches. This will be quite a tight fit vest, and this way it measures about 24 inches. Okay, so it's 16 by 24 inches. You can add more squares in terms of length or width. Okay, so in terms of length or width to fit your size. This should fit around a small to medium size, and yeah, I'll show you what the front is going to look like now. And this is what it would look like in the front, here being the top. Yeah, so this will be the shoulders. As you can see, it measures the same thing, so it's still 16 that way and 24 this way. These little triangles are to give a nice cuff around that side, and I'll put buttons down on the middle part as well. Yeah, so this is also a total of 22 squares and 2 triangles, so that's the amount you're going to need to make. Okay, so to join, I will be joining this in a horizontal way. Okay, so this, oh wait, this will be vertical, horizontal, this is vertical. Okay, so I'm joining this in a vertical way. So I'll be joining this way first. So I'm going to grab at these two, right? Then I'm going to join it to this and then continue. So it's going to be one long join that way, one long join that way, and one long join that way. I apologize for the sound in the background if you can hear it. And then I'm going to go this way. Okay, so that's how I'm going to work the back and the front as well, and I'll show you how I join these. Okay, so I'm going to start first off with joining these individual ones, and yeah, so I'm going to start with that, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start from here. This is I'm going to work in a landscape format. I'm not working from the bottom up, I'm working from the left right. Okay, so this is currently the left side of the vest, so this is where I'm going to be working from. So I'm going to grab at this first, and how we join is right in that gap of the chain space that we did in the squares. You're going to go into both of them. Then you're going to tie off. Okay, just made a knot, normal knot. Going to yarn over and pull through a loop. Then I currently start with a knot here, so I'm just going to go into that. And then the back loop of this next stitch is what I'm going to go into. Okay, so when you have a knot, you just go into the knot itself. Now I'm just going to continue as normal. I'm going to go into that next space and the back loop of this one. So front loop of the one in the front and back loop of the one at the back. You want all your squares to be facing upwards when you're joining. Okay, so I'm just going to continue all the way down, and I'll meet you at the end. So the way we're going is front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop. Okay. Okay, so now I'm at the end, and I'm just going to go into both spaces, the front and the back, in this gap here. Okay, so I'm just going to go in there and finish off. So now I have combined this space. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is how it was. So now I have combined this. Now I'm going to join this to this, and how I'm going to do that is by just grabbing at those two. Okay, I'm just holding it tight enough. Okay, and exact same thing in the gap, in the beginning gap of these two. We're going to yarn over and do a single crochet. Okay, so now these two have been joined. You're going to do the exact same thing going all the way down. Once again, I have another knot, so I'm just going to go in the front of that and through the whole thing actually. Okay, so in through the knot and the back loop of the back square. Okay, then I'm going to go into the next one and the back loop again of the other square. So front and back, front and back loop. Okay, and that's how you're going to go all the way down and reattach again, grabbing this one, and you go down, reattach, grab. Okay, so that's basically how that's going to work for the remainder of the squares. Okay, so we're going to complete these joins all the way. Okay, then the same way you joined here is the same way you're going to join this one to this one. Okay, so you're just going to grab, once you're done with this going all the way down, you're going to come here and then you're going to join it here, and then continue all the way down and then add the last row as well. Okay, so I'll show you. I'll go on, I'll finish all the way down going vertically, and I'll show you what it looks like when everything is combined. So I have currently worked my vertical join, so everything is joined there. Now just to join them here. Okay, so we're going to do that now, and we're going to start off. We're going to start off with this side. So I'm just gonna move this a little bit. Okay. I'm going to now join from here. I'm gonna have to move this way a little bit. So the same way you've been joining this whole time is the same way you're going to join it here as well. So in through the front and back square, tie a knot, I'm gonna struggle with this tail later on, but that's okay, it's okay. And in through the front loop and back loop of the front loop of the front one, back loop of the back square. and front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop. So that's how you're going to continue all the way down, and I'll meet you once I get to this end here. Okay, so I'm at the end here. I now have this hole in the front and the back to do. Okay, so you're just going to stick your hook in that gap. Okay, find the next gap on the other side. Okay, both sides into both squares, yarn over and do a single crochet. Okay, so that's how you're going to work the joins. So where it joins here. Okay, all the way to the end. And you're just going to continue the same way, front and back. Okay, front and back. All the way down to finish off. Okay. And that's what it looks like so far. Okay, so once you're done going all the way up, finishing off, you're going to go from, you're gonna cut off at the end here and then start again. So you're gonna grab this, go all the way down, grab this, go all the way down, and finish off the back. Okay, and I'll meet you once I have done that. Okay, so I am now done with my back panel, as you can see, and yeah, I'm just going to fold this for now, put it aside, and I'm also done with my front panels, but I still have this to do. I wanted to show you guys how it works. Okay, so this is the right side of my front panel. So I did the exact same thing. I went all the way down first and then I took each after that. So now I currently have just this part to do. And I'm going to show you how to join in general and till the end, because I noticed somewhere around this end here it was quite tricky to know where to stop, so it will be the same thing on this end, hence why I wanted to show you guys how to end it off. And I'll show you what the actual two panels, the front and back, look like once they are done, after showing you how to join this together. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this, and I always work from left to right, so I'm going to start from here, leaving a long enough tail, okay, into the gap and into the gap at the back, yarn over, through, yarn over, and start working your front and back loops. Okay, so front, back, front, back, front, and back. Okay, so I'm just going to continue doing this all the way down, and you already know how to work this part here, so I'll meet you once I get to the end. Okay, so I'm currently at the end here, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this part here. And remember, when you did your triangle, we had that chain 1 and double crochet space. That's what you're going to go into for that. And still the same thing, just yarn over, pull through. Okay, and that's how you would end that off. So now I currently have a somewhat completed front panel. Okay, so at the 1/2, I'm just going to cut off my end here. Okay. And my other panel. So this is currently what the front looks like. I'm going to give you an overview now. Okay, so that's currently what the front looks like right now. Currently separate. Okay, so what we're going to do for both panels, actually the front and the back, we're going to do a single crochet rim around, and then we're going to do one double crochet round as well. So I'm going to show you how to start and end your single crochet rim round. Okay, so for the trim, I'll call this a trim. Okay, we're going to insert our hook into that same gap, and we're going to still do our normal knot first. Then we're going to yarn over. Oops. Okay, chain 1. Then you're going to start with your single crochets, and I'm only going to do 1 here for now, and go into the next space, single crochet, next space, single crochet. So you're just going to single crochet all the way around. This is currently the bottom. Okay, so this is the bottom left corner of the front panel. So I'm going to work my single crochets all the way down and around, and I'll meet you to work. Okay, so I am currently at the corner, left corner of the front panel, and I'm going to work single crochets until I get here, and I'll meet you when I get here. And then I'm going to just continue from there, going the same all the way down, and I'll meet you again when I get to that corner here. Okay, so I have reached this chain from the square, and I'm just going to go once into it. Okay, and this other chain, I'm just going to go once into it as well. Okay, and then I'm just going to continue normally into that gap, next stitch, going all the way down. So when you get to this kind of edge, okay, you're just going to go once into that corner and once into the other corner. You're going to ignore this line there. So in this kind of space, one in there and one in here. So now I'm going to go all the way, and I'll meet you once I get to this corner here. So I noticed I haven't showed you what would actually happen in the corner. I do apologize. Okay, so when you get to a corner like this, so this is the bottom, I'm still at the bottom, and this is the other corner. When you get to a corner, you want to do 3 single crochets into that corner space. Okay, and then you're just going to continue the same way down the row. Okay, so when I say corner, this specific corner, I mean like this kind of corner. Okay, so that currently there are 3 corners on this panel. When you get to the back panel, you're going to get 4 corners, obviously. So yeah, once again, I'll meet you when I get to this square corner at this end here. And I am at the end here. I just did the corner. Now I'm going to go into this space here and do 2 single crochets into that. Into the next space, 2 single crochets. Into the next space, 2 single crochets. Into the next space, 2 single crochets. Into this little loopy we have here, same thing, 2 single crochets. So basically it's 2 single crochets into every large double crochet space there from the triangle. So just 2 single crochets into each. Okay, and I'm at the end of the triangle, and I'm just going to go into that space now. Okay, so it's the space, the corner space again. Doing a single crochet and continue as normal. Okay, I'm getting towards the other corner. I just want to show you what a corner should look like again. So just single crochet all the way down until you get to the corner, an actual corner, which is here. Okay, in this corner you're going to do 3 single crochets. And you're going to just continue all the way down again. Okay, so that's what it looks like. That's what it currently looks like. And I'm going to finish this panel, finish the other panel, and then work the back panel as well, going all the way around, doing a single crochet. And I'll get back to you once I'm ready to start the double crochet round. When you get back to the end that you started with, as every corner goes, you're just going to add 2 more in there. Oops, 2 more single crochets. 1, 2. Okay, to complete this corner, you're going to end off slip stitching in that very first stitch that you did. And that's this panel done for the single crochet round. Okay, I wasn't actually meant to cut that. Okay, I'm going to tie this in back onto my wool. I wasn't meant to cut that, dang it, because we're going to now come back and continue a double crochet round from here. Okay, so I'm just going to reinsert my hook back at the top stitch there. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1, 2. So please do not cut off your end. Okay, don't tie it off, just continue from here if you're working this panel with me. So you're going to chain 3, actually, sorry, so chain 3, so that's a total of 3 chains there, and into that space, you're now going to go all the way around each stitch. Okay, so at the top of each stitch, you're going to do a double crochet. So even at the top of those corners here, you're not going to do any more corners. You're just going to go into each stitch doing a double crochet. And to do a double crochet, yarn over into the space you want to go to, yarn over, three loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That's how a double crochet is done. So you're just going to go into every single stitch. There is no more corners or gaps to go into. So every single stitch, you're going to do a double crochet. Okay, so I am currently done with all trims. I have put it together currently. So this is how the vest is going to look like as a final form. I will be adding buttons as well. Move that there. Okay, so I'm going to weave in my ends and add my buttons as well. But before we do that, you're going to need to put, let me just move this here. Okay, if you notice, this is towards the neck area. You're going to need to put stitch markers like 2 squares down so we can have a sleeve. So when we do the join to join this vest together, we're going to join it there. Okay, then we're going to stop, and then we're going to come back here and go all the way down, and obviously do the same thing on the opposite side. So you can put your stitch markers anywhere below the 2 square. The 2 squares are your I would say your indicator. So it's to show you like from where you can start putting your stitch markers. For this, I found okay, so what I did was I literally did that. Okay, so you see this end is aligned with this stitch here, so I just took it one away from that, and I did the same thing on the opposite side as well. Okay, so that's how I did it. I'm not gonna say, oh, count all the way from here to here. No. It depends on how large you want your hand as well. And the sleeve would be approximately 9 inches in height. So yeah, that's the same size I made my granny square sweater, which I'll do a tutorial at some point in life, but sadly not anytime soon. I need to get the wool for that. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. So please place your stitch markers. If you're going to be needing buttons, you can also place that as well. Weave in your ends, and so just for you to see how it's going to work, you can just place your buttons for now, so you can take a picture so you know where it was placed and stuff. Okay, and now I'm going to start the joining. Okay, the join is going to be basically the same thing. I would also advise that you put a stitch marker at the top here. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put a stitch marker. You see, this is the middle stitch from the single crochet, and if you go up, this is where the peak would be. So you're going to put your stitch marker where that peak would be, so that you know that's where you're going to either start or stop your join. Okay, so you can either decide, well, since I'm going from right to left, I'm probably going to go from here going down. Okay, then, and I also noticed that if I move this, it's around the same area as the end of this, where this corner is. So I'm going to find that corner here, and I know this is where I'm going to stop as well. So right at this stitch. Once again, I am eyeballing this, but I'm experience helps. But please do count. You can always count from this edge here to that edge there, and then count also from this edge here to that edge here. Make sure that your stitches are correct. I'm also going to do that, but just for the sake of now, so I can show you how you're meant to actually place your stitch markers, then yeah, I'm going to leave it like that for now. So that's how you're going to place your stitch markers, and also do so on the opposite end. So I'm going to place my stitch markers somewhere here. I can already see it. Okay, so wherever you put your stitch marker, I'm also going to put my stitch marker at the end here, because anywhere you're going to stop, you want to make sure that when you stop at the right place. So I'm going to stop here. Okay, and then I'm going to place it on the opposite side as well. Okay, so middle stitch, oops, middle stitch. Once again, please count, okay, to make sure. Always count to make sure, okay? But I hope it's correct. I will do my counting. I'll make sure as well. So this is what you want to do, how you want to place your stitch markers. So you're going to start from here to end there, and then you're going to leave this gap here, and you're going to go from here all the way down. You're going to repeat the same thing on the opposite side as well. So I am going to show you how to join now, and yeah, you're going to take it from there, joining the rest of the vest, and I'll weave in my ends after. Okay, so to join, I'm going to take it. Once again, you want to find that middle stitch from that corner, which is here, okay, which is there as well, as you can see. And for this one, going down is this one, okay. So just try find that middle one, and you're going to go in there. I want more of a stable join for the sides, so you're going to yarn over, pull through both, and just tie my end here. Okay, now I am going to go into the same place I just came from, okay, into both loops of the next and both loops of the back. I'm going to yarn over and do a slip stitch. So this is what you're going to do all the way down. It's going to be a bunch of slip stitches. So into the next, both of them, into the next, both of them, okay, yarn over and slip stitch. So it's going to be a slip stitch join going all the way down to where you need to go to. Okay, so I'm going to continue my join like this on the whole thing. Okay, try not to skip a stitch. If you do, please go back for it. You don't want to mess up the sides, okay, because this is what's going to hold to your body most. So I'm going to, this is currently the left side, so I'm going to continue until I get to my stitch markers here. And I'm going to cut off my yarn and then reattach again at this edge, and I'm going to go down here, go all the way to the stitch marker here. I'm going to then cut off again, and you know the drill, continue. And then I'm going to go to this side. I haven't put my stitch markers yet. I'm going to go to this side, continue down, stop, and then here, reattach and continue down. Please, just for the sake of it, I'm gonna say it. Do not stitch this end, okay? So none of these ends are to be stitched, okay? Not this side, not this side, okay? Because this is where your head's gonna go through, or you know, this is where it opens up. Okay, so just the sides, just in case. Okay, so I'm going to stitch the sides and I'm going to add the buttons and weave in my ends, and I will show you what the final product looks like on my mannequin. And here is what the final product looks like. I am so happy with this outcome. I didn't actually expect it to happen like this. Okay, so a little bit of things that I did here, right at the edge. Okay, so as you can see, where you did that join there, there's a line. The stitch before that is where you're going to put your stitch marker, and then you're going to do a single crochet all the way around. And then when you get to the corner here I did a decrease. Yes, I did a decrease. So I started my single crochet, but I had the one loop on the hook, and then I added the opposite, the next stitch here on the other side of this space here, and then I did a join. Okay, if you don't know how to do a decrease, you can always go view my video that I'm going to put somewhere at the top. Okay, and yeah, that's how you're going to join this end here. So you're going to do a decrease, bite the join there, and then you're going to continue your single crochet all the way around until you get to this edge here, and you're going to count the exact same thing. So you see here you did you started it on that second one going this way. We're going to end it on the second one. So this is the last before the after this is the join, so this is the stitch here. The one after that is the one you're going to end at. Okay, so you're going to put a stitch marker here and here, and you're going to do a single crochet, do a decrease at the corner and a decrease at the corner, and that you're just going to do that decrease once for that single crochet. Okay, then you're going to do 2 double crochet rounds and 1 final single crochet round. So that's what I did for this collar here. Okay, and then I added a single crochet round at the sleeve as well. Okay, so that's what the, let me just turn this to the side. Okay, so I did a single crochet round as well for this, just to join these ends here, and I did the exact same thing. I did a decrease here and a decrease here. Okay, so that's what the side profile currently looks like. That's what it looks like. It's not current. And that's what the back looks like. Okay, so you can always add more. Like for example, if this collar is too small for you, you can always make it higher. You don't have to actually stop there. And if you want a sleeve, you can always just add a sleeve to this as well. Just you're gonna need more granny squares. Okay. Or if you want to add more of an outer trim for an actual short sleeve, you can do that. Okay, so